Okay. I was having issues with my tablet right now. For some reason, it's just going really, really fucking slow. And I have nothing open in the background, so shouldn't be any reason for that. Alright, but whatever, I'm back. I guess I'll start over again. How's it going, everybody? Joyce of Sorrow, welcome to the Joyce of Sorrow channel. So, what am I doing? Basically, here's the deal. How's it going, Brian? My plan is to go back to Slab City to go and actually take a proper tour of the place, check some camps out, and also to go help Tommy from Shepherd's Treehouse, who has returned to the slabs, hopefully begin rebuilding the new Shepherd's Treehouse camp, or unless, I think they might change the name, not 100% sure, whatever they decide to call it. But the last time I went to Slab City, I took way too much. I had an inflatable bed. I had a 10 by 9 instant cabin tent. I had two coolers. I just had a bunch of shit in my car. I like to minimize that as much as possible. So basically, let me show you guys what I'm thinking. Let's see if this will work. Sorry guys, I don't really have a proper stand right now. Hi Joyce, happy solstice. Happy holidays. Solstice, is that the right word? If I'm not mentioning the right word, happy holidays. But okay, let me try to give you guys an idea of. Gotta go, Joyce. Keep up the good work. Love the vids. Cheers, bro. Be safe. Winter solstice. Okay, there you go. Hey, how's it going, H7? Will this work better? Okay, no, I'm just gonna have to hold this by hand. Alright, so basically what I want to do is I want to camp out of my car. My car is a 2015 Honda Fit. Not the biggest car in the world. Not in the best condition in the world. I am pretty abusive when it comes to my cars. So, in order for me to do that, well, there have a few options. I have a 60/40 bench seat system, which is 40% on one side, 60% on the other. And they can go both down, or one side can go down or the other. I could put both down to make my life easier, but at the same time, I'm going to be taking some things with me, and I want the capability of taking things with me. So one of the things I've been researching online is there's actually people who turn hatchbacks, get hatchbacks and make these little conversions for car camping. And some people have done them for the Honda Fits. So I'm thinking about doing the same. I've seen two schools of thought though. One that I particularly like is basically having a wood frame that is basically in contact with the actual frame of the vehicle itself on the inside. The other ones are sometimes they'll use storage bins, or they'll actually build like a box, a wood box, and they'll sleep higher so that they can add padding and mattress stuff like that. That's too complicated. I don't want anything like that. I want something that's a little more easy to do, easy to remove, kind of deal. Fortunately, I do have some material. You guys remember a while back, when I still talked to Flux, he told me he might come down to LA, and this stuff was gonna get thrown away. Right here, I'm at the warehouse right now where I work at. So I asked them if I could just hold on to it. They were all right with it. Then shit happened. So basically, this is now my material. So I got to do something with it. So I figured I could start using some of it to build the frame and what I'm going to need. And basically, I'll make a frame here. For this whole side right here. I haven't decided if I'm going to actually make a frame here to just close it. And, put more bedding here. I was just thinking maybe just close it just to have it closed. Because the tire I'm supposed to have my spare tire under there. And the piece that actually goes under there is actually cardboard, which is folded. On the good note is I can use this as kind of a template to cut the wood out. I see nothing but circles. Sorry about that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I'm on my tablet, guys. Not the best I'm not the best camera on my tablet, unfortunately. But yeah, the idea would be the bed, my bed area would be this side. I can put stuff here, I can put stuff there, put stuff in the front seat. Another reason why I also want to use this style of setup is that that way I could just have it already set up and just drive with it like that, rather than rather than having to have it set up, or if I get lazy, just having, I don't want to, because I'm only going to have about a weekend and I want to pretty much use every moment I can to check the place out, to talk to people and whatnot. So that's part of the plan. The other part of the plan is, here, hold on, let me turn this over. All right. Now, obviously, I'm going to need some kind of area, you know, just for myself and whatnot to hang out. Mathematical. Mathematical E. And again, having shelter or at least a cover over my head is a great idea. The problem is that the one thing that comes to mind right away would be an easy up, but an easy up is pretty heavy, and if I'm going to configure the car that way, it's probably not going to be a good idea to carry an easy up like that. I think I might have a solution though, for at least something that's more mobile, and I can just take it down faster. This is a Lightspeed beach shelter slash tent. Not really much of a tent. I would really just say beach shelter is the proper word for it. But the cool thing about this was I got it at Costco for $22 or $24, something like that. They are instant. They pop open, and takes about 1 minute to set up. Let me go ahead and try to set this one up here. Try to position this camera so you guys can see what I'm trying to do here. Oh, you know what? Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, I think this is good. I think. All right, yeah, that'll work. Cool. So, just take this out of the bag. Instructions. Take this loop off. And basically, you just flip this over, open it up, and then all you gotta do is just push this part on top here down into the socket on the inside, and basically it'll snap it into place. It has this little rope right here for you to do it. I've never actually done it with the rope. I usually just press it together. I'll give it a shot. See if it works. All right. Yeah, it works. Okay. Just like that, I mean, you have partial shelter. How's it going, Robert? And here's what the shelter basically looks like. It's really just shelter. It's not a complete tent. Although, let's say if I wanted to use it as a tent, this part here at the bottom does come out for flooring at the beach. Or there's actually these little pegs here at the top where, I can just put them together, make myself a wall. It's good for one person or two small people that really want to, snuggle together. Anyways, so this is a lot lighter than the pop-up tent that I got. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to duck, but it's going to give me an area to hang out with, and if I just want to relax for a little bit. Now, I also got to consider what if it rains. So I have thought about that. We got a lot of junk here. carry a lot of junk in my car. So my idea there would be to just use a tarp. And I so happen to have, I told you guys I always have a kukri machete, kukri everywhere. There's my kukri machete. That's not the brand new one. That's actually, this one I've had here for about 4 years. Got a nice big old camel tarp. Figured all I just have to do and using the hood of my car, you know, the hood of my car is at an angle going upward. I can always bring this closer. This piece of wood will not be sticking out as far as it is right now. But you can always just bring that in that way. Bring this in that way. And then maybe with some zip ties, some carabiners, some paracord, easily just I can tie this down so if it does rain, the water goes sideways. This will create an angle so the water flows down evenly. Again, I'll have a place where I can sit down. I have a folding chair. I can sit down, hang out for a bit, smoke with some people maybe. Compost toilet would be my number one. I already got that figured out. I am taking the portable lid, the lid that goes on the 5-gallon buckets that I picked up last time. Just a 5-gallon bucket and some peat moss. Right? That's pretty much going to do it. So, either way, this setup will be a hell of a lot lighter than the setup I took last time to the slabs, and it's actually going to be bigger, you know? It's going to be bigger, and I think it'll work. I mean, here, let me show you guys the outside. Let me get a better idea. So, flip that around a little bit. That's kind of what it just looks like right now on the outside. Again, it's not secure. Oh, it's easy, H7. You dig. You just dig. And I'm only going for a weekend, so can't imagine I'm going to be shitting that much, man. Sawdust. Hey, Jim. Actually, yeah, Jim, I didn't see you come in there. How's it going? But, yeah. This is pretty much the basic idea. I'm even thinking maybe just get a slightly longer one so that I can make sure that this is completely covered and that I can get a little bit more coverage on the car. I mean, that's fine. The point here would just be that that the water doesn't drip inside while that's open. So, you know, a little wider might give me a little bit more privacy. But most likely what I would want to do is probably, hey Mac, I'm doing a little better, man. I actually did go to the dentist. They started dental work already. Hold on. I don't think you can see it that well. But there's a cap here. They've already started the first root canal. It's gonna set me back almost $2,000. I fortunately found an actually very nice and very patient dentist in the San Fernando Valley and in the city of San Fernando. So I'm paying about $950. Basically, I'm paying like $950 for each side that I need work on. So I need one here. I need two here. One at the top here. Two at the top here. And the price includes the fillings and the crowns. They are going to save those teeth. It was. I mean, I was talking to my I was talking to my aunt today, and 'cause I told her I recently went to the dentist, and she's like, "Oh man, I hate going to the dentist. It's painful. Even the needle the anesthesia when they stick the Novocaine in with the needle is painful." I was like, "Hell no. Yes, I felt it. Did it hurt? Yes, it hurt. But I welcomed that pain, knowing that fuck that was gonna stop everything else." They had to inject me with Novocaine about 4 or 5 times before they can start, but or whatever the fuck that numbing agent is that they inject, but they were able to do it, and I'm going to be paying as I go. So this trip cost me $500. So when I go back, it'll be to finish the rest off here. That'll be another $450. I don't know if I'm going to start this side before I go to the slabs. I'm probably just going to have this side finished up first, and then do this side. I would like if at the very least he can start the root canal here, because now that he started the root canal on this side, I don't feel any pain here. I mean, I got some pain meds, but it was just the Tylenol #3 with the coatings. It's only 300 milligrams of Tylenol, a little bit of coating and some caffeine. Not a lot. But I feel a lot better on this side. This side is still aching, but I do have an infection as well in the gums. Roger, I am hoping to head out there mid-January. January is the goal, so mid to late January will be around the time that it happens. So right now, I'm trying to just kind of square myself up and get ideas as far as what I'm going to take with me with the camp. And I honestly think maybe this will be my best bet, doing this kind of setup. For the windows, I'm going to actually make covers for the windows. I saw a guy who, with some thermal foil and cardboard, actually made some decent ones, and he made them for the front. These little corner windows here, these door windows, and this other window here, because that is the only one issue with the Honda Fit. I do like how big the front window is. And I like the cockpit style of. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Mac. I'd like to see him, man. That would be great. I like the cockpit style, dash of the Fit. However, it makes it a pain in the ass to find a windshield cover, because this window is much bigger, tall wise than most vehicles. So it's better to just make it yourself. I've also on Amazon found these best way I can describe them as nylons for your door to go over your window. What you would basically do is you'd open your door, you slip this two-sided piece of nylon, and it would act like a screen to keep bugs out. And then people will put Velcro on the trim just to make sure that it's nice and taut. Though I hear you shouldn't drive around with them because they're actually very loose. However, at least with that, I'd have a way to be able to keep the bugs out, and also be able to open and close the window, whenever I want, because it's going to be on the actual frame of the window, like a sock going over it. So pick up maybe 2 or a pair, probably just 2 or a pair. I'm not 100% sure yet. I have a folding chair. I have a small folding table. Probably just going to only take 1 cooler with me. I don't see any reason for me to need multiple coolers this time, since it's not hot right now. But so far, that's pretty much it. Trying to, again, dick around and get some kind of idea of what I'm trying to do here. Just come around this one. See, I'd like to do something more like that, or I might just actually have to go and find a bigger tarp, because I'd like one to do this where I can cover at least one side whole. I can leave one side like this, a little bit open like that. Now, when I go to sleep, though, I will obviously, especially if it's going to be cold, I'm going to be closing the windows, closing this out. So, yeah, I will have to get bungee cords so that when I do close the trunk, put the bungees maybe on the tires or somewhere at the bottom here. I can probably even pinch a bungee or two through my moonroof. My only worry would have to be if it rains that it doesn't leave such a gap that it can get too much water into the car. But that way I'll be able to close the door and all that and go to bed. So yeah, first things first, wood frame for the inside of here. Got to take care of that first. All right. Padding wise, I'm thinking I'm gonna go to LA, downtown LA, to the Fabric District and maybe try to see if they have cheap memory foam that I can buy in a roll to make my own little kind of padding for this. It's going to be cold and it gets cold early. Well, I mean, Mac, I can mitigate a lot of the cold, at least with wearing stuff. I'm definitely going to go out there with thermals. I'm taking long johns. I'm going to get thermal, long sleeve undershirts and things like that. I'll have sweaters. I'll have blankets. But yeah, I need to definitely figure out the bedding because I had two ideas. My original two ideas were I can get a cat pad and roll it through, but the only ones that I see would even kind of work would be the cheap Walmart ones, that cheap blue foam, and that I need at least two of those, and I'd have to cut it up and modify it. And I figure, well, if I'm gonna have to cut it up, I might as well just go out and see if I can actually find a thick memory foam to make the bed here. And then I'll obviously still have I'm gonna get a cold weather sleeping bag. I'm bringing blankets, just in case. I'm going to get try to find a propane here, because the stove that I have, you guys have seen that propane stove that I took over there that I didn't get to use. I can just use the stand, and just get a propane heater head and, set it up somewhere here, so that while, I'm awake and I'm hanging out and whatnot, I have some heat, even if it's at night or something. So that's kind of so far what I've got, basics of shelter. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas, you are welcome to suggest them. I wouldn't actually mind a little bit of some opinions or advice. Mad Mac, you've been there the most recent, so I'm pretty sure you've learned a few things while you were over there that could be useful to someone like myself. I know some of you guys that you've watched that watched the show also have been out there. How's it going, Jazz? But yeah, I think that's pretty much how I'm gonna go. And after the week passes, I'm gonna wait for Christmas to pass to start working on this. But I'm gonna start getting the work. I'm getting the measurements now. I'm trying to think, what else can I do to really improve my comfort, my overall comfort, or keeping the vehicle warm, things like that. Well, like I said, I'm going to make window covers, and I'm going to use cardboard, and I'm going to with thermal, that silver thermal sheeting glued onto it. So that hopefully will help keep some of the heat inside. Just to give you an idea of a bunch of shit that was in my car. Most of that was in my car. Hidden. Some of it was hidden. Most of it wasn't. But yeah, I'm taking all that out. So, and then I'll have this area here for putting, for taking stuff with. Obviously, this area right here, where I have this stuff here right now, will also be available, and so will this area. But, all right, I mean, yeah, that's the basic idea. Now, aside from my little setup, I would like to actually go and get some little knickknacks and things here and there for some people out there. Hey, that kind of rhymed. Well, it was raining out there. I put a pallet on my truck, so I wanted to get so you might want to do something about when it does rain. Well, I mean, I have extra tarps. I have a tarp I can put here on the floor. I have this thing has its own tarp here on the floor. Now I could probably go get some sandbags as well to like line around, just around there and at the bottom, so that I can make sure any water that could possibly come by doesn't go into it. I have a bunch of sand right there. So, wouldn't? What do you mean wouldn't, H7? You saying you wouldn't do that? Okay, oh, okay. All right, I'm a little lost there. I'm guessing that's a conversation between, okay, it was the typo you had with your conversation with him. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the other thing, like I was saying, I kind of want to take a few knickknacks and things like that over to some of the people out there. Uh, you know, I know Alien was asking for soil. I actually wouldn't mind taking some soil to Alien. I went to Home Depot today to go grab some things. I went to go grab a milk crate for the kayak that I'm supposed to be getting today, but I have yet to hear about. And I know he said he needed soil, but when I went to Home Depot, there's potting soil, which I know that's for obviously for potted plants. There's risen bed or rise bed soil, and then there's actual soil that goes on the ground. I don't know of which of those two would actually be more beneficial to Alien. It's not that expensive actually. Some of the cheaper stuff you can get it for like $6, $7 for like 2-3 cubic feet. Miracle Grow stuff sells also pretty affordable. I can probably take him like a bag or two. And I know he said earthworms would be useful to him. So that's another thing I can take to Alien because I'll be honest, a lot right now there's not a lot of fishing going on and there's a lot of earthworms at the local Walmarts and they're really cheap. It's like $2 and change for a box of 25 earthworms. So I can go pick up 4 boxes. Should be about 100 of them. That would probably be enough for Alien, or at least, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a plant expert, but maybe that would be enough for Alien to, put them in a bin and start collecting their castings for his, little food farm project. Something like that. But again, I just don't know which of those soils or what to take him. As you guys saw in his last video, he was a little edged out at people throwing him advice. So it gets kind of iffy to ask at this point. And then I do have intentions to go see some people. I'm obviously going to go see Tommy while I'm out there. I do want to go see Cause. Might stop by to say Nikki. I'm saying might. You know, in my head, Nikki has started a little bit of a conspiracy. You know, Mac ate her food and ran away. Shiny ate the food and ran away. That's people don't usually run away from free food. You know what I'm saying? It's just so it's a bit suspicious there. Who else? I mean, that's pretty much mainly who I really want to visit. I will be going on a weekend, so that means if there's a range on the Saturday that I go, I will try pretty much attend the range. Hi, Joyce. He's probably wanting topsoil. Yeah, see, Mary, that's kind of what I thought, and then I'm not 100% sure at the same time, because I see that he grows both in the actual ground from the slabs, and he has bins and buckets where he's growing stuff as well. So I was just wondering, which would be better for him. I mean, I would honestly have thought myself the top raised soil too would be good. Okay, well, actually, thanks, Mary, for letting me know. I mean, I could take him a bag of each. That would, like I said, they're not that expensive, so I wouldn't mind doing that, and taking the guy some worms, and I'm wishing him the best with that. I would like to see that yurt that he built. That's kind of a little interesting thing. I use both myself. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Cool. Okay, I'll do that. Shiny didn't leave. Cause was joking about that. Man, you should have let me in on the joke. You know what kind of great conspiracies we could have started with that? You know, could have made a conspiracy video on Nikki. Could have made her out to be like a hobo Black Widow, where everywhere she goes, she kills men with her food. Yeah, I think I am gonna have to get a bigger tarp. Yeah, if I leave this open like that, yeah, I am gonna have to. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to put my finger there. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna need a slightly bigger tarp for this. Might make this one just a tarp to put on the ground, and then get a bigger one to put on top. Let's see. I might actually. Well, I don't know. I have to admit, I'm a little iffy with Freeman. He's probably someone I'd like to talk to. I don't know if he's someone I'd go hang out with. He seems to be in a strange. I don't know how to explain it. He seems like he's in a strange place in his head, and it's just one of those places where it's like, you're good on your own there, man. Call me when call when you're back here, you know. But I don't know the guy, so could just be just me assuming. But might be curious enough to go like meet the guy and hang out with the guy for a bit. Thanks, man. I mean, well, what are you jealous about? You had that big old SUV. That was nice and comfy just to lay down and sleep. I mean, and you had solar. I mean, that is probably the only other thing right now that I can honestly do to improve the camping situation would be to do a solar setup. But I don't have a roof rack. My ideal solar setup for this car would honestly to put a small roof rack and have a 100 water up there and just call it a day. But I don't have that. So, but I can probably pick up before I hit out, and I probably will be one of the 5-volt folding solar panels for the cell phones and the tablet. I will be taking my phone. I will be taking my tablet with me. Hopefully, I will have a new phone by then. If not, I will be doing all my filming on this tablet, which means the videos will be edited. Sorry about that, guys, but it is what it is for right now. Just can't remember. And what else? What else? I mean, I do have a battery. I have a spare marine battery that I wanted to use. I actually, like I said, if I had a roof rack on the car, what I would do is put a 100-watt, maybe a 150-watt panel on there, and then I would just plug it in through my windows or somewhere to that spare marine battery that I have in the house that I use for my boat and my trolley motor. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Sometimes I don't understand the jokes. I have to see. Problem with some jokes is some jokes are jokes you tell in person, and doesn't have anything to do with it being offensive or anything like that. It's just jokes have a punchline, and you can't really a punchline. How do I put it? A punchline can be audible. It can be dramatically audible, and that right there can be that signal to tell you, oh, this is a joke. So it's kind of hard for me to get the punchlines or anything like that with text jokes. Yeah, I know. I'm a sad sap, but it is what it is. But yeah, you know what? This won't be too bad. I might just do it with this tarp alone. My only worry is, see this tarp. This not tarp, but this shelter I have is technically a beach shelter, It said it's water resistant, but I do not think it's waterproof. So I probably, yeah, I should get a longer tarp just to cover that up a little better. Another thing I'm thinking about too is I can get some paracord, to probably run a line from the antenna to the point right here, just so that I can make a much more solid little ridge line here. So if it does rain, water will tend to fall further to the sides. I will need the paracord too, probably, to tie it down to the actual shelter piece there. And I can use that use the same paracord and bungee system to tie that here. Okay. So, alright, so I got the shelter figured out. I'll get a 6-volt folding solar panel, so I can have some power. I still have that 20,000 milliamp rechargeable power bank that I picked up a little while back for my first trip. So I'll be taking that with me. Let's see. I have the bug zapper light. That'll definitely go with. Some extra lights that can go with me as well. Yeah. Just I guess the only other thing I could take with me is really food. I already have my ways to cook and shit, and then some knickknacks for people out there. Like I said, Alien, I'll take him the guy some soil and some worms. Hope that'll help him out. Tommy, I don't really know what Tommy's gonna need a lot. And I really don't know what Tommy's really gonna need. I can't really take construction materials with me. I could probably take a 55-gallon water drum. It's going to be a little tricky to put in with everything that I have planned out. Although, the crazy idea is I could always carry it on the top of my car even without the rack. It would just be tricky to tie down. I'm not really so worried about scratching up my car. As you guys can see, my car is a fucking mess, so that's not a big concern to me. What else can I use to improve the experience a bit? I'm gonna have electronics, have ways to do fire. Obviously, maybe take my own kindling, take my own wood. Well, I have a bunch of wood right there. Wouldn't want to really burn all that stuff though. But take my own wood for fucking fire when I'm out there. I was thinking about taking a camp grill. Hey, Mad Mac. Hey, you know what? If you're still in the chat, man, I got a question for you. Is it easy to find like stones and rocks or even like old bricks out there? Things like if you wanted to make a fire pit, you could just procure it on site. Because if that's possible, I do have a small charcoal grill that I can take with me, and I like to take with me. But I went to this shop called Daiso the other day, and I picked up one of these for $1. It was like $2.50. So nice sized, 17.7 by 13.8 inch grill rack. So if I can just find a place over there to dig a hole and find enough rocks and stones, all I really have to do is just start cooking is, have my burning material, start digging, and then, put that right there, and then put some rocks on around the edges to keep it from the wind from blowing or the wind from fire, and voila, I have a cooking grill, and I don't have to carry a shit ton of, I don't have to carry one of those tailgating grills with me. And this thing weighs maybe 4 ounces, 6 ounces at the most. So yeah, if I can do that, procure the rocks and stuff to make my own little circle grill. Okay, then yeah, I'll do that. Well, then yeah, bringing my own wood shouldn't be a problem. I'm not gonna take that construction grade wood. I'll take some cheap. I'll take some actual like firewood. So then yeah, cool. Then I can definitely use something like this. I actually even have a smaller one. But I saved that for my. Here. Oh no, it's actually at the house. But I saved that for the other small bag for in case of emergencies. I have ways to boil. I have a kettle right there I can use for boiling water. Although I already had that, not so much for water filtration, but if I want like a cup of noodle or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's safe to be cooking with construction grade treated wood and stuff like that. But here in the valley, there's a lot of people that sell firewood, and it's gotten ridiculous to the point where you can buy a barrel of firewood for about $5. So I could just go get a wheelbarrow full of firewood, for cheap before I head out there. Okay, so I can use that for cooking. I mean, I'm still gonna take my gas stove with me, but it is nice to have an option to cook over a fire. Fishing, I don't think I'm going to take any. I'll take a fishing rod or two. Probably take, I'll take the pole and the mini, and then I'll take one of my regular rods, but I'm not taking any fishing equipment really this time. It's really cold right now. There might be some winter bass in the canals, but I'm not going anywhere near the Highline Canal this time around. And the Coachella Canal is closed for a good distance. I'd have to walk, I'd have to drive down further to try to fish it. And I don't think I'll have the time. I really don't think I will. Let's see, what else can I do? Oh, wait, you know what? I know what I can use for flooring. I already have paracord right here in this bag. Filter and mass. Shovel. Guys, check out how small this folding shovel is. Unfortunately, the Army surplus store I picked this up at closed down. But look at how small this damn shovel is. And it has the pick too, so that's actually pretty cool. And I got it for like $7. Now, unfortunately, the place that I bought it at is no longer in business. But here's what I was looking for. I don't need tarp for flooring. I have this. This is 4 mil thick polythyrene sheeting in 12 by 12. So I can use this as a floor very easily. I have a lot of it right here. I can even probably use this as a secondary cover for if it rains just too hard and this for some reason was to leak. So I got that. Good thing I just remembered. Now, as far as cooking goes, I didn't get a chance to cook while I was out there, but I did have cooking utensils with me. I had different ones, and steel cup. I had this basically, and this was kind of my emergency cooking set. I had other food and all and whatnot, and I actually had a non-stick pan. That was actually one that my mom was throwing out. But I do have this thing right here, and I've got salt, pepper. That's actually whole pepper. That's actually not a crushed pepper. If you're going to carry, one thing I was told, I don't know if it's legit or not. I mean, it makes sense to me. If you're going to carry spices with you, if it's a spice that, for example, is normally served broken down or crushed, carry it whole. And the reason you do that is that any of the essential oils and things like that in the spice that would give it the flavor don't go bad. It's when you start crushing the stuff up and then package it that flavor starts to diminish over time. A little bit of olive oil in there with a really interesting way for me to just cover it up. And just as a example food, I had in there a slice of Spam. I gotta be honest, I don't even know if this is still good anymore. Expired October 2nd, 2018. No, it is not good anymore. I'm going to go ahead and throw that away. Guys, that should be a good lesson for everybody. If you have an earthquake or emergency stash of food, always check your emergency stash every fucking year. Bailey Harkinson. Boy, you went in the last 24. This survival situation, you'd cry like a girl. No, I'd last longer, actually. But thank you, anyways. Bop that person. So, anyways, this is just one of the ones I had procured. There's another one that I saw on, I'm trying to remember this, on Amazon. That is just slightly bigger than this. How's it going, Laurie? But that one actually comes with a bowl, a small plate. It's a saucepan and a little grill, not a grill pan, but a little frying pan. Also has the utensils and everything. It's like 20-something bucks, and it even comes with the one of those backpacker style micro stoves, which I've been curious about, but I have not bought one of them. When they first came out, I wanted nothing to do with it because they looked ridiculously dinky, and they were ridiculously expensive back then. There was about, I think they started at about like $70, $80 for just the little headpiece, and very thin wire supports for whatever goes on top of it. And yeah, I thought that was more of a gimmick. But it looks like they've gotten cheaper now in the last 3 years since I've seen them. So might actually have to do that just to try it out. All right. But okay. Aside from that, I am going to have to make another video, another stream where I'm going to show you guys a little bit more once I have things settled in. I haven't decided if maybe I should make videos about making the internal wood frame for the bed area or not. Yeah, just inside the tent. Sorry about that. Or inside the shelter area right here I'm experimenting with. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't know if I should make videos of the process of me building that. Might be interesting to document or watch, but I am a shit builder, so might be embarrassing myself at the same time. But that's pretty much where I'm going to start at. So, all right, I'm going to pretty much call it a day for this stream, guys. Just to kind of recap, what do I have to do? Well, I gotta build a wood frame on the inside of the fit so that I have somewhere to sleep. And so I'm building a wood platform on one side. The other side will be used for storage, and it will be used for seating. And oh shit, Cal started his stream. So okay, let me end this quick. So I'm gonna probably watch that. Second thing is get a bigger tarp so that I can cover the car a little bit better and cover the sun shelter so that I don't get wet. Paracord, I already have it. Maybe some more carabiner clips. Bye, Mary. What else? The propane heater adapter head. I mean, that's pretty much where I'm starting. Guys, thanks for watching. If you guys don't know who California Sherpa is, I can't believe you don't fucking know who California Sherpa is, but you should be heading over there right now to go watch that stream. I'm actually going to go take a piss first, and then I'm going to head over there. Guys, you have a great day.